Hi guys, welcome to an episode on Vibe and Tribe with Eventigo. Today is an amazing day and I'm so excited because we have a very special guest on our podcast today. And before I go into the guest and introduce him and be like, who is that person? Who is that person? Who is that person? This podcast is basically about all of the tea in the event industry, how you can thrive, so that you get to even understand the event industry better. Because sometimes from outside, it just feels like, what exactly are these people even doing? Or you see certain things, but you don't even know how everything came to be. Just join me to welcome Mr. Akin Odeku of Classicus Rentals. Woo! You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you very much,
and
ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining us to do this.
Yes, please.
Yes. So, we have so much. You've been in the industry for over 35 years. Or no?
1990 to date, yes, this 35 years.
Wow. Some of us have, we're just, maybe our parents are even just considering, will I marry you or won't I marry you, right? But that means it's not moi moi. It's not moi moi. Thriving in Nigeria, in a place like Nigeria. Wow.
Thank you.
This is where you do 2 hands in the air. Well done, sir.
Thank you, madam.
But I would just like us to talk about, how the rental, we know that the event industry has, been transformed from what it used to be to what it is now. So let's just talk about now, right? How do you ensure that people get, what's the role of rental items? Because sometimes you just see, rental, what exactly am I renting? I'm not renting anything. Or what am I even supposed to look out for when I want to rent items and things like that for a successful event, not just wish-wash.
All right, like we said, we've been in the rental industry for 35 years. Rental is just the ability to get the product that the client wants and give it out for a particular purpose, and then it returns back to you. For example, if you're having an end-of-year party, a wedding or a birthday, or probably a burial ceremony, you don't want to buy all the chairs, all the plates, you don't want to buy all the flowers. It's for that occasion, and what you do is you go and rent. Now, when you rent, you pay an amount, and of course, it is used for that purpose, and then returns back to the original owners. But if you really look at it, the rental industry is such that it has moved from one level to another. It used to be in those days, the clients come directly to you and they say, I want to rent chairs, tables, canopies for my daughter's wedding. But now we found out that event planners have now come in, they plan everything, they know the caterer to take, they know the rental person, they know the band that will come to play. And so we in Classicus Rentals, we restricted to the rental aspect. Now, a wise person cannot do everything. You can be a caterer, you can be a bouncer, you can be a band, you can be a mocktail person. So we have more or less specialized on what we know how to do best, which is renting out chairs, tables, canopies, and like the hardcore things for events. So when you look at it, it evolves every year. When we started in 1995, it was the white plastic chairs we were using. And then the thing moved on to other chairs, tables, and then people stopped using iron tables. Now we're talking of the banquet chairs and banquet tables. And then, of course, we brought in the O-back chairs about a year or two into the system, and with the VIP chairs. So each time we go to China and we see new products, as it's becoming more dynamic, we buy them, and that has helped us to be still in the rental business. It's a very capital-intensive business, and like I say, you decide whether you want to stay in it or not, and if you stay in it and you know what to do, it'll be fine.
Beautiful. Rental companies, because it's basically like you're buying on behalf of people. You're buying to retail or rent it out, and then just over time you get your profit. You're expected to get your profits from it. So that's really amazing. Yeah. But when it comes to rental, so I'm going to share, there was a particular event we planned, and then we booked for some chairs, and then when the chairs arrived, it was a nice saw, and it wasn't good. So I was like, like you saw it. So I mean, when they delivered it, I had to call the company back to say, what type of bucket chairs are these? It's not white. He said, no, it just stained. They will wash it. I'm like, what do you mean by they will wash it? If it didn't leave your place at a good condition, why do you expect that it will automatically be transformed into something good when it arrives the client's place? So
that's true. Well, that's what has kept us in business for 35 years. We say in Classicus Rentals, good thinking, good products, good services. We say in Classicus Rentals, a choice, not a compromise, which means the client has a choice to go for the dirty, ugly chairs, but he doesn't want to compromise. He go to Classicus. For everything that we buy, we make sure it's top notch. And let me tell you the truth, it's maintenance that kills a lot in the industry. So when you come to Classicus, I mean, we have about a staff strength of almost 51.
Wow.
There are different sections that wash the chairs, there are those that clean the chairs, there are those that drive, there are those that are packers, there are those that are supervisors. So in such a situation, I rarely, and I don't like it, I'll tell the client this is the condition of their product. It's not a new one. But because we know that clients want good products, we keep on buying new ones, and that's why I say it's capital intensive. In a year, we may bring up to 4 containers of 40 food bringing in products. And then there was a time 2-3 years ago, because we wanted to help those in the rental industry, we did what's called a yard sale, in which we sold all the old chairs, the tables to other rentals that are there. So where am I going? When you hear complaints like this, that what they brought was so terrible, it's so funny that the next thing is that they will chase them away and say, go and call Classicus. So people must know you.
I had to tell them, come and pick it. Like, I'm not.
Yes, it's true. You should have not collected the money if you know your products are not top notch, or you need to do something before then. But the truth is that because it's so capital intensive, maintenance wise becomes a problem. So for people that are in rental industry, if they don't maintain their products well, they're wear and tear. I tell my clients, water does not like the iron products. The sun does not like the plastic products. So you need to keep them away. And it involves a lot. By the time you buy soap, buy diesel, buy that, you start asking yourself, and you have to paint or repaint the products. How much am I renting it out? Now let me tell you the bad thing about rental industry, if you don't mind. The fact that I buy this pen at 10 naira, I may be renting it out at 1 naira, which means that before I start making any profit on this pen, it has to go out 10 times in and out. Now, in the process of it going out 10 times, it may either get lost, or it may break, or it may require me to re-amend it. So that is why the rental industry is capital intensive. It requires you to maintain your products. And once people find out that your products are not in good shape, they go to other places. Like, Mr. Odeku, what are the new chairs you have now? Oh, the one they had for Okoya's daughter's wedding. Oh, I like that chair. Do you have it? That's the nature of our people in Lagos. They want good products, and that's why we say good thinking, good products, good services. Classicus Rentals. Did I say it right?
Awesome. Yes.
Thank you very much, honey.
You did very well. And you know, this is actually very important, and I'm just going to say to everyone that is in the rental business, I know it can be very challenging, especially when you have that client, it gets to, you go for your pickup after an event and you discover that things have changed. Like there's maybe damage, wear and tear, or maybe sometimes you have that at events, maybe you have a lot of alcohol and guests are drunk, they just damage some things, which you may not really, are you able to like pin it on somebody to say you have to pay for this?
Now, let me come in here. Nigeria is a very unique country.
We are unique.
Yes, I mean, Nigeria is a unique country that you buy a Toyota Corolla car for 5 million naira maybe 2 years ago, and it should have depreciated, and you want to sell it for 2 million. But guess what? You're going to sell it for 10 million, for 11 million. We are, okay, should I say we or me, okay? In Classicus, we are members of the American Rental Association.
Oh.
And we're also members of the Rental Professional Association in Nigeria. Now, one thing I found out when we go for the American convention every year is that in their own country, they dare not give you a rental product without charging you a refundable deposit against damages.
But is the refundable deposit, is it something significant?
No, it may not be significant, but over there, because there are laws, they will write you when you bring it back and say, this thing is damaged. They now say, you are going to pay $50, $100, $200 for damages. And they send you the bill.
Sure.
And guess what? You pay for it. If you don't pay for it, of course, there are laws they can write, they can sue you for things like that. But in our case, it has happened many times that the so-called damages does not even reflect the refundable you've taken. Let me give you a case study. A client started running to me, please, hey, the wedding is going to start. We need a wedding chair. I said, look, we don't have the means of delivering. He said, I'll take it in my vehicle. So he took away the wedding chair. And when he brought it back, the thing was torn because it was leather. And I told him, this is not how you took it. He said, and he left. And when I said, look, you have to replace it. He said, I can't replace anything. No. Now, what does it tell you? Once the weddings and the ceremonies are over, people are not bothered about what it is. So that when we get to parties, somebody's drunk, he takes the chair to hit his opponent. Sometimes some people want to watch the bride and groom dancing. They go on top of the chair and the thing cracks. So when you don't charge the refundable deposit, they have nothing to lose. But you'll be surprised that even if you take 20,000 naira refundable deposit, it will cushion little. After the same, they start asking for my refundable. Give me my money. People don't play with their money. But I pray that we'll get to a situation that we'll look at it and know it properly, that when you damage things, it behoves you to return or refund or repair the product. And that's why if you go to all these halls, now they're charging like a caution fee against damages, and because they've incurred loss or they realize it. But like I said, the industry is getting more dynamic, and I see us getting to a state that everybody will pay for a refundable deposit, and if you destroy or spoil something, it will be on your neck. Let me give you another example. When people rent chairs and tables, even when you say it is 900 naira, sorry, I'm talking in Yoruba. Shebika kojoko le no ni kade dide.
And plastic chair.
And then they now say, I just remember the story. I'm sorry if I'm digressing.
No, please.
There was one of my clients, the Bajumos, they were having their so-called daughter's wedding. And after they're taking my rentals, the mom now said, please go to our bride's side. There's this man that owns this Chinese restaurant in Koyi. They call him Bigbeleku, a partner to Ayoku is his name, yes. And I got there. Immediately I gave him the bill, and he said, rentals, how much is this? You're charging me this amount. I built the house is really at the age of 26. I've been doing parties every day, and it went on and on. And you know my saving grace? He just said, what's your name? And I said, my name is Akin Odeku. He said, Odeku, which Odeku? Adeola Odeku. I said, yes, sir. He said, your father used to be the Egbonlogist, my senior brother in our area. They are the ones that were leading us. He just changed. And he said I should sit down, and he started talking to him for almost an hour. He got his thing, he said, open that fridge, and I opened it, and they brought the money, and they paid everything. Where am I going? A good name is better than money. If I wasn't somebody, he would have chased me away just because I gave a bill for rentals.
Which wasn't a normal game.
Yes, so I can't forget that story till I die, because it made me proud that, so if I wasn't the child of somebody, that's what would have happened. So people look at rentals like, Shebika, rent chairs and table. But now with the likes of KFA, Tent Event, MacB, Akin Event, and all these so-called elites, first of all, they see us that we are not illiterates.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a lawyer, and despite that, I'm doing this job. So they don't look down on you anymore. And then when they see the product itself, like somebody told me, I saw your products on Instagram, they are so fine. Then they know that they are paying premium for the quality. So the era in which people look at, is it chairs and all that, I think it's dying gradually.
Yeah, I think I would even say that it has okay, wait, it hasn't died completely because the chair is fine. I'm like, this will not give you what you want because sometimes people, I mean, which is normal, people tend to think about the cost of a thing or the amount I'm paying for a thing, and sometimes they don't think about the value I'm getting from it because it's just like for people to sit down, it's part of the celebration, and people need to also understand that I'm getting value for my rental items. Rental items, I mean, I'm not sure you can have any event in Nigeria without renting an item.
Oh yeah.
It's not possible. That's just the way it has been designed, because in the event industry you have different people on the entire value chain, and we all complement each other to be sure that clients get the best out of it, because at the end of the day you want to make a statement with your event, whether you want to shout, whether you want to just say, you know what, my wealth does not shout, it just whispers, and then people
like,
come in place like, wow. You know, they are blown away, they are speechless because of it.
It's amazing at the way the event industry has done. Like when we started in 19, it used to be Classicus Rentals and balloons, and
where did the balloon go to?
Virtually the balloon indirectly died because my wife
Deflated.
my wife's a medical doctor.
Oh.
So she was handling the decoration and balloon side.
Wow.
And I was
power couple.
So, but in our own case, she more or less loves her medical work. She travels a lot. She works with the Bill Gates Foundations and all that. So it didn't give her the time to concentrate on the balloon aspect. But like I told you earlier, let them know you for something. If you want to talk of small chops, you say Sahito. If you want to talk of drinks and all that, you say Bonix. If you want to talk about fruit, fruities and all that, or fruity whoever is in, I tell my workers every morning in Sule office, look up, and they all look up. And I say, what is that is going? They say Virgin Atlantic. At 10 o'clock, that plane is flying above us. It's going to London. I said, timing matters and everything. Then I tell them that if they're going to mention 10 rental organizations, I tell them this, I say, suppose you want to buy, I ask you to go and buy soft drink for my client or my guest. What will you go and buy? They say they go buy Coke. I said, that is it, a brand. Coke is the first thing that comes to your head. But so I say in Nigeria that when they say, I want to rent something, before they think of 10 companies, Classicus must be one of it. So that enabled us to say, let us concentrate on what we know how to do best, so that we don't become a jack of all trade and all that. And that has gone like that. And I can tell you that our marketing is nothing. Referrals that we get, I don't see one December that we don't say we are fully booked.
Wow.
We always, because we are stretched, and the law is that never take money from any client.
When you know you can't deliver.
You just tell them you can't do it.
Well, integrity is very
key.
Yes,
it is so.
Because I know and especially when you have the ember months, you have that. It's
terrible.
And then sometimes they don't now pick calls. So the event planner, you are stranded. You're like, we had a particular event where we needed to get something, and then the person was like, oh, it wasn't that we booked the person from the onset. It was just something that came up. And we were like, okay, let's try to sort this out. And they said, I'm on my way. 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. You will see me now. And then later the person's phone was just off. Yeah. And the person is still coming till today. The person hasn't arrived. No call to even say, oh, this will not happen.
Let's talk about integrity in that place, in the rental industry and the event industry. I cannot but say that majority of our people in the event industry and the rental industry, they lack integrity in that area. The first thing is that I tell anybody that wants to do catering, maybe your party is going to start at 12. I say, tell the caterer that you should be here at 8 a.m.
The food will be cold now.
Oh, they warm it. Which one is better? The food is cold and they put that heater under it, or he's still coming?
Well, it's better that it is here than it is still coming.
Oh, yeah. I see. The Shogbetus had a party in Jebu, Deremo. We were there 2 days before and we set up and everything was ready. The Onja was stuck on the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. What are you telling me? That is why I say that a good thinking, good product and good service. Good service means that you should foresee and calculate things like traffic, last mile, etc.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to you, someone called us yesterday and said, deliver at NECA by 12 noon today. As at up to 11 p.m. yesterday, I made sure my boys, they loaded everything. By 8 o'clock, as I'm talking to you, they're at NECA house.
Wow.
Delivering it. Because you need to know that you can't tell a client to come and do his wedding or burial or birthday again.
There are too many. It's like a live production.
Yes.
Once we go live.
So what happens to our people is that they take 3 jobs. Oh, if I take this job for Dara, take this job for Akin Odeku. When Dara finishes it on the 18th, I'll just move it to Akin Odeku's place on the 19th. And you may get there on the 18th, you just find out that after they finish the party, the owner just locked the key and they traveled to England that night. They zapped him many times. I say, and they say he's not coming back in 1 week. Or we have a job and a client takes, I don't want to mention the name of the person, he takes the product and we go to Lagos State Government House. And when we get there, after we finish, they want to take it to State Government House in 2-3 days again later. We go back to go and pick, and they said the governor says he still wants to be using it, that they're having political meetings and all that. I said, and they don't born you well, make you remove her from government.
you know what leave for the state to be that.
So
now.
I had to muster, thank God I had extras, a lot of extras. I had to muster that extra, and I took it to Ogun State, the stadium, and filled the whole stadium with VIP side. Now the question is, if I didn't have that strength, what do I want to tell them in Ogun State? Mm-hmm. So these are things that you need to know in the rental industry. What is your strength? Give room for, suppose anything happens. Some people will take jobs and they say, oh, they're coming from Onitsha, they should arrive today. You need to know that, I read the newspaper every day, I listen to them. You need to know whether they've closed down the Third Mainland Bridge. You need to know where I know of a rental company now, she doesn't take jobs from the mainland. Not because she's proud, but she looks at the logistics
of it.
She's somewhere on the island and going down. So that is your strength.
Yeah.
Now, look at that person you are calling, didn't pick because that's the only thing she can do. She cannot pick the phone.
But I would rather you're able to, personally, I would rather you're upfront with me. This is the situation. I mean, with the event industry, you know that they are bound to be challenges.
There's no way that that person is upright with you that you won't start crying.
No, so that way, it helps me as the planner to be able to say, I mean, you may not be able to tell the client that, but it helps you with damage control.
It is.
You are able to think about why you're activating, I mean, plan B, C, D, E, F, G.
Like I told you, I wish I could write a book on my experience.
You should.
I pray, before I die, I pray. This is an incident.
You have to write it.
I mean, with your help and getting the writer, I think I'll do it. You seem to be encouraging the woman.
No, you have to write it.
The MD of Oceanic Bank gave us a job. The mother-in-law died in Nagbarato, the Hebrews. And we got there. We took the lorry, 2 big trailers. And that's one funny thing about Classicus. We've been to Maiduguri, we've been to Bonny Island.
Yeah, it's true Nigerian.
Yeah, but before they started all this kidnapping and killing, I don't go anymore. Because I don't want somebody to start calling Dara and say,
you have security now. You have security. You know,
hungry people don't know. There are a lot of stories about that area. It's a no-go area.
No.
And then at the end of the day, we now found out that the 2 trucks, the first trailer the first truck got to Agbarato. They just called me, which is always my behavior. I'll send the truck, send the drivers, and then call. When they come in, then I start coming there. And they now said the vehicle stopped in a place called Umunedi, the trailer. And you know what it is to be loaded with rentals of a trailer? And you know what it is that the Hebrews are a well-known family. Yeah. The Babangidas, all of them were coming for the burial.
Wow.
They have an airstrip at the back of their house in Agbarato. So they're not babies, and you can't mess people like that up.
No.
And then the next thing was that I got to Agbarato, that truck was not there. I was sweating. And that's why I keep on telling everyone in the rental industry, a good name is better than money.
Yeah.
I've been able to do
Even
that.
Even in life.
Yeah, a good name. I will not take the money. I would rather lose the job. I had to call the driver for the first one, say, can you go back to Munide? And he went back to Munide with Olumide, my supervisor, and he called for a second truck from Onitsha. And they look, the ceremony is 10 o'clock the following day. Wow. Can you imagine? And I was talking about 5, 6 p.m.
Wow, that's like the day gone.
Honestly, I couldn't sleep.
Because at that time, you're supposed
I was just asking God. I said, God, it shall surely come to pass. You know, it's when you're in trouble that you remember that.
No, you need that backup. You need that God factor, God, Father, Lord.
And by the time they finished loading, they just said this vehicle, they call Fedeco. These are like Danfos.
Yeah,
I don't think they do them.
Big back.
They just came from me and they were filled with soldiers. And they said, we're going to Sapele. We don't know our way. And they said, we're going towards that side. And they said that vehicle started leading them all.
Wow.
And by the time they got to Sapele, it disappeared. They didn't see it again.
Wow.
I couldn't get over. I can't just get over that story till today. And they got to Agbaroto around 6:30 in the morning. Trust me and my workers. Before we said Jack Robinson,
sharp.
That tent for 2,000 people was up.
Wow. So
these are things like that. And you know what? Just 2 weeks after, Cecilia's own father, Sido, died. And they called us again. So that is what makes people say, go back. For a lady that told me in Oriental that, Classicus, my daughter got married 26 years ago, that you are the one that did the ceremony. Wow. And now this is my last month that's doing it again. I say, consistency.
Yes.
You have a tailor, she's good. You want to stay with that tailor. Mm-hmm. You have a bricklayer, you want to stay. And then people will always refer to you. But when you mess up once,
it becomes very difficult.
So you can come into that industry and then learn and then expand and of course make the money. But you see, where it goes bad is that people are paying you because they want to take some stress off themselves.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. And recently, someone called me and told me that, what do I do, Uncle Aki? I said, what? He said the event planner had collected money from the client and then told her, decorator, that she should tell the client a lie that she has been paid. The event planner had blown the money. Wow. Now, to me, that is lack of integrity.
Definitely. And I'm sorry to cut you, and I think this is one of the areas that APOEM is the Association of Professional Party Organizers and Event Managers in Nigeria. I know that in the past, we've had to deal with several issues, and we're very big on maintaining standard, upholding a certain level of excellence and standard. And I mean, it also means that a lot of people, like you said, event planners are, the event industry, especially for planners, it's an industry where the barrier for entry is low. And then once you have that, this person can do this, and somebody says this person can do this, clients literally commit their money into your hands and expect that they would get the desired value.
We're going to get to that stage in which people realize that, look, I won't say because somebody is call himself a planner and is a mushroom, I'll just give him my money for my daughter's wedding and all that. And guess what? You see all those children, this Gen Z and all these people we're having now, they know what they want. Oh, Dara did our wedding this way, Akiboye did his own like that. That's what I want, what they did with my sister. So it becomes dynamic. In those days, we don't have something like after parties.
Yeah.
Now, after parties is now
they must, yeah.
Immediately they put the after party, and the after parties are always wild. They drink, they do everything.
That's why it's an after party.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that before. It was just the wedding reception, and then they now go to the house of the groom of the bride, and then they do that. So this thing is becoming more dynamic, and as it improves, I look at it like in the days that I was working, in which people were using typewriters, and then they moved.
Or when they take notes with shorthand.
Yes, and then they now moved.
I just remember that we did shorthand in school. I can't remember anything.
Yes, please. So it's like that. It's moving fast, and when we get to that area of talking about the future, I'll be able to tell you that I see also in the Classicus that you just sit down and you make your booking online, make your payment, and you deliver, and we come in the day before. That's
because I mean that's like the future. But so if for somebody that is already in the rental business and it just feels like you said, it's a very demanding job and it's very capital intensive.
Very capital, very.
But maybe my 200 million is already inside, and I'm like, who send me work? What am I supposed to do? Because maybe it feels like, you know what, even though I've spent 200 million, I've invested 200 million already. I still need to invest more money, which at the moment I don't have, and then it might begin to feel like, wait, who even sent me work, right? And maybe feel discouraging. So what would you say to somebody that's maybe the person is like 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, and just needs that? What has kept you going?
I've had nothing less than 8 rental companies like that have told me to come and buy them off.
Wow.
They just have me shameless. 3 of them want to relocate abroad, and they were ready to sell it anyhow. One that even mentored her. She's in London. When it goes to the stage, she has a lot of beautiful chairs. Invested like that. 200 million, you said.
Wow.
Put his brother there. I still insisted, if you are selling Ankara, if you are frying puff puff, if you are doing Okada, let them know you that you are Okada.
But what if life, just evolved through life?
Yes, so I'm coming to that aspect in which they want to back up. Like even in Hapwem, I tell them, and particularly the rental association, I said the bulk of people joining these associations is that once I get there, I'll be getting jobs left, right, center.
It doesn't happen that way now.
So once it doesn't happen, you see that they don't pay their fees again, their dues again. They don't want to be part of it again. They now start seeing the organization as a cabal. But they don't look at that aspect of maybe I learned this, I learned that, inventory, I learned and all that. So people want to get out of that business when they're not doing well. For example, in December, I was talking about there was a time I can have 17 jobs in one day. KFA sometimes has more than that when we talk. And whereas the some renters, they don't even have one job.
Yeah.
So it can be very frustrating because the joy of this thing is that they're calling
your
it left,
things are moving out in and out.
So the way there are options that I put in 200 million, as you said. Should I continue? Why don't I take that 200 million and buy 2 houses?
I'm living my life.
I'm living my life. So he backs out. So most of the time, I've mentored many people in the rental. I just say, are you ready to go the length or? Because if I tell you my own story, when we started off, we come back from work or somewhere, they've stolen the 4 tires or 6 tires of our truck. One of the drivers would just load a full load of plastic chairs and drive it to under the bridge in Costain and sell it off. Where some of the staff will bring somebody, and as I'm talking to you today,
I mean, we need to have like because you know we also need to talk about, which will not be in this episode, of course, but we need to talk about the fact that you see that theft part.
Yeah.
Understanding your logistics, managing that inventory, and certain things that you can put in place to ensure that, you know what, as it's going, and things like that.
Oh, you can talk like that because you are somebody that has 2 shoes. When you have 85 shoes, when your house girl steals one,
actually,
you will not remember.
You will not even first know.
No, yes, that's the key word. Then you will not first know that. One day when somebody now said, "Oh,
I used to have a house in Banana Island now."
And I say, for that ceremony, you should come in a green outfit and we should. Then you now say, "Oh yes, I have." Then you now say, "Where is this my green shoe?" Because the boys will just keep quiet there and they will not tell you. We're going to do a walk in Abeokuta today, and they're telling me that the whole bucket of bolts that we had, they can't find it again. It's so bad.
Wow.
And if I go to that topic, we won't leave today. And like you said, it's going to be. But what do? You count your losses, and then you ask yourself, do I want to opt out about this? And then you now believe, sorry, you're not Akin. If you're Akin, and Akin is a warrior. And then I say, look, I'm going to continue.
No, at some point,
when your staff brings a vehicle into the premises of the warehouse and connives with the security men, and then with 1 or 2 of the staff, and promises he's going to give them 20,000, and when he even brings the vehicle, guess what, my dear? He also comes to the police escort that will escort that thing out, and the CCTV camera is showing them carrying it and all that. And then
that's some organized
and then you now
business.
Say, you now take them to the police station.
With the police escort.
Police now said, okay, of course, this is now gone. We help you look for that guy that brought them, who was an ex-staff.
Who they cannot find again.
And you spend 300,000 for one police CID, and then you yourself, you now go and get a private CID. Oh, it's in Ondo State. It's in, we went to Lansing, he sold it there. At the end of the amount of money you are spending. So when you look at all that, you just want to count your losses in this country. And then what I would say, like I said, close your laps and minimize your loss, because as long as you are doing some things that they feel otherwise. We did salary increment just a few weeks ago. We shouldn't do it. Our overhead is high already. But when you look at it, our staff, when they pay so much to come down and go back, there's no way they will start stealing diesel and things like that. And you want to stay in the industry. But like I said, it's a whole topic in which you don't buy these things, you experience it. You see something today before you leave. Oh, you give American Embassy every year, Canadian Embassy, German Embassy, October 1, it's a short banquet. They're having their end of year party or Independence Day, like they want to supply Indian canopies. Then you now see this brand new canopy is only reserved for American Embassy, and you just make sure, because it's an embassy.
It has to be.
And then you come back the following day. And the thing is nowhere to be found. I say, Lawrence, where is this thing? I don't know where it is. And for once in your 30 years, you get annoyed, you go to the police station. And you get to the police station, they pick up about 10 of them or 12 of them and put them inside. You yourself that took them there, you cannot sleep at home.
Yes, now.
That you put them in the cell, and then the following day you get there and you have to give the bill money yourself. Release one, and then when he brings all of them, and when he brings all of them in front of you, then the next one of them will say, "Excuse me, the DP say, why are you treating your boss like this? He pays you even when there was COVID, he was paying you salaries." Then one of them said that there's no structure in Classicus. If there was structure, why is it that they'll be stealing that every time anybody does anything, a guy will say, leave them alone, let him go. Another one will say, it's because a guy is too weak. I say, and I've been doing this for 25 years. You, Hafiz, am I not the one paying the school fees of your son? Can I recollect the number of times you just come and meet them hungry? And you just feel like crying. Just when they get deep, at least when they come out, go and pack your luggage. So again, we're in a society that stealing is not a matter of male or female.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't. I think sometimes it's a level of reasoning. And I'm going to give you an example. You know, sometimes you are driving on the road and then you see our special yellow people.
Mm-hmm.
They are just misbehaving on the road. And then sometimes, I mean, eventually maybe they are obstructing the road.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you're able to pass. And then the person stays beside them in a private car. Yeah, this, you are that. In my mind, I'm like, what is all you are doing? The person is like, oh God, they go your own.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes in their head it's just that target. They have, I need to meet this, and that is what drives them. And you cannot, I mean, they don't reason the way you reason.
Yeah, that's why you find people stealing diesel, find people selling products.
How do you steal diesel? And the funny thing is they have people to sell buy.
Under the bridge in Constantinople, people are ready to buy. Along really,
well, it's just amazing. So who is going to use it?
Oh yes, they will not sell it to somebody in need.
When you can go to the filling station?
No, you won't go now. Somebody that wants to try. All those truck drivers, they will buy now. They will buy at a cheaper rate.
True.
All he needs is money as at that time.
At that time.
It's
not even concerned about the quality.
Yes, please.
Wow.
That's the way it is. But in any business, it's only, let me use the word, I hope you don't get annoyed people. It's a crazy man that runs business in Nigeria. Yeah.
I watched a video this morning before coming here.
Okay.
And the person was talking about the fact that it's been 16 years since she moved back to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people are like, you're mad. Mm-hmm. Like you cannot leave a first class world and come back.
Organized world. Use the word organized world.
Organized world and come back to Nigeria. That you must be crazy. I'm like, truly, You have to be crazy. It's certain level of craziness.
But let me tell you something about it. I hope we're not digressing, but it's just part of what we're learning. You see that guy that came back in the 16 years? I dove my heart for him.
For her.
Okay, for her if it's a woman. You see this black skin? In America, beating Germany and all, you're a second-class citizen. In America, beating your life is work, bills, home. Work, bills, home. You pay the bills over there. But if I run to you and say, "Ebin Pami," you will give me Gary. I can't run to anybody over there.
Yeah.
They won't answer me. So for you to say, "I've had enough," and then as a black man, go and read and look at everything. There's a height and limit in which you can get to. They'll bring you down. There's no way that maybe some of the big multinationals, a black person will never get there. If one gets there, maybe one in a million. So these are the things that make some people just get fed up and say, "I'm coming back home." Like one of my uncles, he said there's nothing new there. But for some people, maybe people like you and younger people.
What do you mean?
Well, you're online, man. I mean, it's the truth.
What do you mean for younger people? Even what people are relocating.
Yes, let them relocate. My son wants to file for me to be an American citizen. And I said, no, not yet, I don't want. And I asked myself, if you're going to file for me, I'm going to go and sit in America for 6 months. Do I really want to sit in America for 6 months? But that's what I want, my dear. The Lord has given me a child, a wife, a house. I'm comfortable here. Yes, it got me crazy. Lagos State government can slam me with bills, land use charge, parking lot, but I still love my country.
Yeah,
so it's maybe because of my age. Those that I below,
you have gone through a lot of craziness.
Yes, so I've gone through so much that if
younger people cannot.
Even my son said that if I should stop working, like I will fall sick.
Actually,
and I laughed. So that is that aspect. So whatever you are doing, it may be tough. There's a woman who really busted by 5:30 has prepared cocoa. Cocoa is like pap, and he has fried a few accounts. People going to work, they just stop, pack, and they take the cocoa. By 7:30 she has finished. She's washing her pot and she's off.
Onto another business.
She makes her money. So Lagos will continue to prosper.
Sure.
As long as the earth remains, Lagos will do party.
Yeah.
There are 15 million people in Lagos, 15 to 20 million. They will do burials, they will do weddings, they will do housewarming. Somebody will buy a brand new car and decide that
we have to celebrate.
So that's what
because life is for the celebration.
Yes,
actually.
That's just the way it is.
And we can't live our life and say, you know what, and when I get to this particular level, I'll begin to celebrate. You will get there and discover that you have wasted so much time. So I think I'm going to put this out for the audience. So it's been a pleasure speaking with you
and
very much. Gisting with you. I'm really excited. I feel like we would have to come back many more times to have various conversations and just tap from your wealth of knowledge.
Well, if you say so.
Or the that's that you are just bringing. You're just like
I've seen.
And we're looking forward to the book.
Pepe. I've seen Pepe.
Yeah, so you tell us where the Pepe is so that we will not get to experience the Pepe.
I've done kabu. I've sold egg from Obasanjo's farm. I'll drive down there. That's why when I look at something, a crate of egg in Obasanjo farm there was 6.50 naira. But yes, I'll put it in the back of my sister's car.
As per 6 naira, the whole crate.
6.50 naira for a crate.
Not one.
Not one. I load it at the back and I come down. My salary as a teacher in Maryland Computer School was 700 naira. Come on, baby. When you look at it, I can tell you that the first time I traveled to London, it was through Bola Ige's bursary award of 500 naira. I bought a ticket. Is it 27 naira for F26 or Nigeria Airways ticket? And it has been such that being a teacher,
you have gone through
a lot. I've done restaurant, I've done teaching. I'll go to people's houses and teach them English, economics.
Wow.
I was teaching in Maryland Community and I was going for my law. We were the first set of law students in Lagos State University. That's where I met my good friend and my elder who became the vice president of this country. Yemi Shibaju. He was our lecturer. And he's the only one that calls me Locus Classicus. He's the only one that knows where I got the word Classicus from.
Wow.
I will tell you what you ask.
Don't worry. Another episode, we'll get to know.
So it's nice to share your wealth of experience, like I said. All I need is just to let people know that hard work pays, and it still affects me. I've been told that I own this company, but I can't see myself sleeping till 7, 8, 9. I don't know, but maybe I'll slow down, because I believe that whatever you have to do today, don't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. You want to buy a shoe, my dear, by the time you get back,
you only live once, Abby.
Oh yes, I mean,
but don't use to make bad spending habits, please. So.
No, there's no way you can not stop bad spending habits.
No, let it not be too much.
So
that you don't deplete everything.
No. If I say this, some people say I'm stupid. Sometimes you look stupid when you save in Nigeria. Your money becomes worthless. So invest it. So, like I went with my friend to China, where my so-called friend Shegun. We fought all the way back, because where I see something like this, and I said, look, we need to buy it for class. So I'll go ahead and buy it. He said, oh, you're not going to No. Do you know that these are the things that helped me
in the business
during COVID? You can come and say, I want 5,000 chairs. I'll open the warehouse and give you 5,000 chairs. We were clearing a container for 5 million naira then. Guess how much we clear it now?
Give or take maybe like 40, 50 million.
Yeah, you're close, it's 30.
It's 30, wow.
So it's a lot of money. So these are things that if you should have done it,
and you keep postponing,
that's what it happens. Thank you.
Your money will not be enough when you are ready.
Yes, ma'am.
But thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure. You've been what should I use? An inspiration. At least I think I now have somebody that's going to push me to do this.
No,
thing.
that book, I'm going to be on you to make sure that it comes
it'd be nice if I can do it. God being on my side, and I'm still standing. By next year February, I can.
Then just is to celebrate your birthday.
And all
yes.
That.
So we have a book launch date. Tentatively.
All right, but I like Borolo.
Tentatively.
Yes.
So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. So let me know if you have questions. There are things that you want him to directly address, or things that you want him to talk about. You're in the rental industry. You are, even if you are not even in the event industry, and you're just, I'm curious about this. I want to learn about this. I want to learn about life and all of that. Just drop in the comments. We'll be showing him some of them, and I'm sure that he will be very, generous to be able to address them. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For having us. And do subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I really don't know why you haven't. But this is your reminder to subscribe to this YouTube channel and share with other people, because I'm sure that there are people in your circle that would need this video, and they will really love, they will learn, they will benefit from it. So I'll see you on another episode with another guest on Vibe and Thrive with Eventigo. Bye. You wave and tell them bye.
Bye. God bless you.
Yes, your bye is very short. Bye. Do the Gen Z.
Okay.
Bye.
This is Gen Z. This is the oldies. Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.